Hello, guys. Welcome to Live with Jacqueline Valdez. I am super excited to be here today. So today we are talking about how to improve your mental and physical health. I'm super excited and ready for our next guest. So let's welcome Mr. Owen Headley to the show. Hello.
Hello.
I love it. So how's your day going?
Going good. Just living the pandemic dream. How about you? Just going well. Just taking every day as it goes and trying to get back to some kind of normalcy and just living life. How about you? How's things down in FLA?
Yeah, so I'm in Gainesville, Florida.
Go Gators.
So, yes, exactly. So yeah, it's gorgeous day out. Life is different definitely in Florida than in most of the world. It's almost like we don't have COVID here. Everything's kind of normal, but it's like not really normal. So
Right.
yeah, but just like you said, hanging in there, taking it one day at a time. And so during this whole quarantine period and COVID series, you've really embraced social media and really been pushing a lot of physical health and mental health and trying to inspire others to really stay healthy during this period of time and stay very athletic.
Yeah, well, it's during this pandemic. I mean, COVID-19 is not the only pandemic that's going on right now. Anybody who suffers from any kind of mental illness, the pandemic is growing as well. If it could be someone who's been suffering in silence, who can no longer contain it because they've been trapped within the four walls of not only their homes, but the four walls of their minds.
Yeah.
So what my goal was during this pandemic was just to kind of, keep the blood flowing, keep people positive, have a very, very, very detailed a way that I wanted to get my message about mental and physical fitness out there. And these days, I mean, I grew up in, the rotary phone days, but these days there's no better platform than social media. So, I decided when I started this journey years ago that when this pandemic finally hit, unfortunately, it took something like this to kind of really make me embrace, trying to get my message of just mental and physical fitness out there.
Yeah. And I love it. I love that we are able to connect on social media. Hello, Christopher. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Zamara. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Hey, Mara.
Appreciate you guys being here with us. And it's so important to really discuss these things because a lot of the times talking about mental health is really taboo, and especially with men's mental health.
Yeah, it is. And, just a little bit of my story. I was very sick for a long time, and I went through some treatments for that sickness. I had stage 1 cancer, testicular, and I during that time, during the radiation period, I really just started to get into a very, very deep depression. And to tell you the truth, I really didn't know what it was because, to your point, everything was like taboo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until and this is a true story, I really decided that like this was going to be the day that life was going to end. Like this was it. Like I was very, very sure of it. And I'll tell you, I had my medication and I went to the liquor store and I bought a bottle of like Captain Morgan, and this was it. But what got me through that day and night rather was when I got 2 text messages. And the first text message said, "Hey, how you doing? Haven't talked to you in a long time. Give me a call." And it was from my mom.
Oh.
And then the second one was, "Hey, we haven't spoken in a long time. I know that, you really don't want to connect, but, just want to let you know I'm thinking about you." And that was from the woman who I wound up marrying, my wife. So those 2 text messages, and they didn't know it, saved my life. And it was the longest night of my life. There was a lot of laughing. There was a lot of crying. And the coolest thing about it was that the sun came up. And the sun came up to a new day. And it's when I decided I had to get my life together. And I really kind of decided to take a really, really, really hard look at the way I was living, both physically and mentally, and decided that I was going to become more focused on my physical fitness. I mean, I used to have like KFC night Taco Bell night, stuff like that. And, I'm not saying not to indulge, but I was just doing it for a living. But the most important part of that was, and I always say this to any client that I have or anyone that I speak to on any podcast, your physical fitness means nothing if you're not mentally in the game. And I had to get mentally in the game. And to be totally honest with you, Jacqueline,
Wow.
when it's mental health, it's no different than when somebody who's addicted to a drug, it's an everyday battle. Like, just like you say, no matter if you're clean for 20 years, they still label you as someone who's an addict.
Yeah.
And whether or not you fall into a depressive funk, whether it be the next day or 20 years from now, you're still considered someone who has mental illness. So it's an everyday struggle. Yeah. And to be totally honest with you, like fitness and, getting back, especially yoga. Yoga was one of the things I could do when I was physically debilitated and I couldn't really like lift weights. And I was going to ditch it. And I winded up falling in love with it. And just the mental aspect of it, the meditation, and just kind of finding myself got me to where I'm at today.
Wow, that's an incredible story. And it's incredible how you had those angels watching out for you. And there was a bigger message that, I feel like there's a bigger message from God, from the universe, that we are meant here to do something. And you were meant to help inspire other people and to help people through their physical wellness and through their mental wellness.
I appreciate that. But it's funny because when people do give me those type of compliments, which I really appreciate, I feel like the people that, I've connected with, whether it be in the fitness world, whether it be in the yoga world, what you do in broadcasting, I feel like you guys are the ones that inspire me to kind of step my game up and be a better me every day. But it's really been an exciting journey for me. Yeah. Just the people that I've met along the way. You're talking people globally. And that's the thing about physical fitness and yoga and mental illness. Mental illness doesn't care about a race. It doesn't care about a gender. It doesn't care about sexuality. It affects everybody. And I felt like for the people who were suffering in silence, that if I can go out, on social media, provide free at-home videos, do some yoga and start connecting with people, maybe they didn't have to suffer anymore. And that could just be an outlet for them to kind of release some of that tension that is caused by mental illness.
Yeah, that's true. I feel movement is everything, and keeping your body going is, a mind, body, spirit connection. And yoga is something that's nice and gentle on the joints, and that helps you through that spiritual, meditative state of mind also.
Yeah, and it's also fun twisting your body into shapes you never thought you could twist on.
Yes.
It's cool now because I was what you would call like a freestyle yogi.
Okay.
Didn't have really much guidance and direction. So I was just looking at videos and looking at pictures and just emulating those.
Yeah.
And then I decided that, why not take this passion and, progress it into a certification. And I am now currently enrolled in the Flow Restore Collective, which is a good friend of mine. Her name's Ashley Straw. She's my yoga instructor, my guru. And I'm studying not only just about the postures, it's also about the philosophies and just the mental wellness of it. So it's been a great journey. I got about 4 weeks left. I'm inviting you here live on your show. I have to teach a 75-minute class, and you are definitely invited to take it. It will decide whether or not I get my certification. So you are invited to do that. We'll touch base on that when it comes.
Yes.
Yeah. Movement is everything. There's a lot of things to be said about movement, and I encourage people to get up and move. You can, a lot of the workouts that I do, if you time them, they're like less than 15 minutes, but it gets the blood flowing, the heart jumping, and it's fun. It just keeps your head in the game.
Yeah, I love that so much. And it's like you said, even, 15 minutes a day, you don't have to do 2 hours, 3 hours. Just keep the movement going, keep the head in the game, keep the heart flowing, the oxygen flowing, and just really be in tune with your body. So How did you get from the place of, going back to the night that things changed and the next day the sun came out and everything was different? How did you make such a huge transformation as far as like your lifestyle, your diet, and overcoming the struggles of it?
Hard work, and to tell you, just along the way, there were a lot of challenges. I mean, I think Michael Jordan said it best, like you don't succeed unless you fail.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of failures along the way, a lot of binges, a lot of funks, a lot of things I had to do. But it was something that I felt that I had to continue to push to do because, this was my life. Like this was something that, it's a God-given gift. And, to get to a point where you feel like you want to give that gift back, it just really opened my eyes to a lot of, things. And, one of the things that I always thought about, and this is something that I failed at, is that I took people who actually cared about me for granted. And I didn't think about, how their lives would be if I took mine and how I would affect them. And so I live my life every day for that and for them and for the people that support me, for the people that have my back, and the people that pick me up, like my wife and my kids. They pick me up when I'm down. When I'm having a bad day, I could pick up my 1-year-old and, that everything is gone. Or I could go outside like I just was before I came on the show with my 5-year-old and help her ride a scooter. And those are the things that keep me mentally balanced. And, those are the things that a long time ago I would have taken for granted. But now those are like the most important things in my life.
Yeah. And I love that you said that because it's a good tip for, someone that's having a difficult time or they're in that negative space. Because each day it's almost like you have to take it a day at a time. Sometimes the negative can be addicting, is to really embrace the loved ones around you, to embrace, just going outside for a nice walk and just being in the moment.
It's true. And that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
The little things like going outside and, looking at a flower or just enjoying the nice weather, like the little things that people take for granted could actually be your salvation. So I encourage people that if you're going through that and you're suffering in silence, there are a lot of people who are in the same boat. It's something, to your point you said earlier, was taboo. And now, when you see, people who you think are celebrities, people who pretty much have it all, that take their lives, it's not something that's just segregated to, the modest and the normal everyday person. It's everyone. It's whether you have $1 to your name or you're a billionaire, it affects people. And, I'm very glad for myself and for other people like me who are going through it, that it's not taboo and you don't have to suffer like that anymore. And there's more awareness to it. And that's what I've dedicated my life to helping people become more aware of it, but also having fun, like connecting with people worldwide. I started the movement that you're a part of, the Badass Yogi movement. During the pandemic, I did a wall sit challenge where I sat, did a wall sit and crossed my leg for 2 minutes, and I challenged people. And it was very humbling that it didn't even just go national. It went global. We had people in India, Venezuela, Brazil, Japan, and it was just something that was just a movement. But again, it was something to get people's mind off the fact that they were trapped in their homes and just, kind of just ease away some of that mental pain a little bit.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you're wanting to really use your platform to inspire others to use their, mental stability, their physical wellness, to really push through and to focus on that instead of the negative and the dark side and all of the bad stuff going on in the world, because the world's already hard enough. We don't need to be hard on ourselves and get focused on that.
Yeah, it's been, obviously, I'm sure you've done a lot of broadcasting and talked to a lot of people. Like the past year, has just been a struggle for everybody, whether it be, physically, mentally, financially, socially. There's just been so much boiled in. My cousin actually said something that was really cool. She's like, it's funny that everything happened in 2020 because 2020 is perfect vision. Now you can just see everything perfect now for what it really is. And I think that was a great analogy.
Oh, I love it.
My focus, and a lot of people that I know, their focus is to kind of take what we've learned, because some good things did come out of 2020. My daughter was born, the first month of the year. So for me, that just made the last 11 months just a blessing. But there are some good takeaways from 2020. And to your point, we can't keep going back and focusing on the negative. It's a new year. Every day is a new day, and we just got to focus on the path ahead and not dwell on what was behind us. And that's what I'm trying to do and people like you were trying to do, and we're trying to, live again and
Yes.
implore people, go out and live again. And, I've offered training for people. Like the one thing about my training, which I feel, puts me one of the best in show, is that I always look at it like this. If you're paying more money for a personal trainer than you are for food and to live, then you don't have your priorities straight. So one of the things that I like to promote is that I like to work with people's budgets. Like if you could, we can sit down and we can go over a good plan. We can go over your budget, and we want to make it affordable, because to me, this is more about your physical and your mental health versus the money. Like I have a full-time job, I have a good business. My wife and I do very well. This is more about a passion and more about getting people to be in a mentally stable place where, they have an outlet. Hey, text me. Oh, I need a workout today. Jump online and let's do it. Hopefully when the world is right, we can do it face to face again. But, that's what I'm promoting. I'm promoting good physical and healthy fitness, but affordable. I want it to be affordable for people, because especially during these pandemic times,
it's difficult.
The last thing people, it's very easy to just, prioritize and throw that off the table, because people look at it more as a luxury, but in reality, it's a necessity. It really is.
It's true. It's so crazy how really a necessity is physical fitness, is the arts, is really just being able to explore the creative side and to really dive into your passion. And I love that you're so passionate about it. And it shows through in everything I've seen of your work that you do, is you're very passionate about it all. And I feel like you are just aging younger as time goes by.
Sometimes I don't feel young, but you know what? I will say, up until this conversation right now, like I and past it, I am in the best physical and mental shape of my life. At 44 years old, I was invited by a friend of mine. Her name is Kat Burke. Shout out to Kat Burke. She's a promoter for the Florida Surge, and they do natural bodybuilding competitions. For people who wonder what natural is, it means there's no playing around. It's a totally fair. They do drug tests. There's no steroids allowed. And she invited me at 44 years old. So I'm going to be doing an 80s flashback bodybuilding competition out in Naples, Florida in October. And I'm looking very forward to it. She's been a good friend, a good mentor. I've never done it. It's never been anything that I wanted to do. But I'm looking at it as like, you know what? You only live once, so why not go out of your element and do something? So if anybody's in Florida, look up Get Cat Fit, Florida Surge on Instagram. She's promoting a show that's going to be coming out in April. I was going to do that one, but I needed more training time. But I will be at the one in October, so I'm looking forward to that. So to your point, like I feel like, I'm my best self right now, and I'm looking forward to like what lies ahead.
I know, that's so amazing. So Get Cat Fit says she loves your workouts and your positivity. You're an amazing man with a wonderful story. Yes, so much so.
And so what with that?
So what are you doing to prepare to get ready for this competition?
Well, my training for the competition hasn't really started yet. I mean, I train every day, and I feel like I have a good start off point, but the actual training for the competition doesn't start till May.
Okay.
So some of the things I'm going to do, obviously, you have to have a strict regimen as far as eating goes. What I do now is a lot of cardio-based workouts to kind of stay lean. I'm going to have to probably bulk up a little bit, and then more towards the end of the training, lean out a little.
Right.
And, just basically get mentally into the game, just stay on track. A lot of the things that I've looked up, but again, I have no experience. A lot of the things that I've looked up and from people who do it now, it's just all about discipline and consistency. So it's funny because I'm already planning like what my meal after the competition is going to be, since I'm going to basically be on a strict diet. So hopefully there's some good burger joints in Florida, because I'm looking for like a bacon cheeseburger. But that's really it.
I love it.
Just training, consistency, and just sticking with the plan.
Yeah,
asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, I feel like that's such good advice. You can never ask the wrong questions. You can never ask too many questions. And consistency is such a huge thing in any business, in any fitness workout, in anything with yoga, is really just being consistent and staying with it and enjoying the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the one thing that I like to tell a lot of my clients is that working out, the first word in it is work.
Yeah.
It's going to be grueling. It's going to be intense, but the reward for it is just so much. And again,
Yeah.
and what I like to do is, and I try to tell people, you don't have to be this sculpted statue to be in shape. Like you can, fitness comes in many different shapes and sizes. And that's what I like to recognize when I have a story where I do, I'll do a little shout out and I'll just start, promoting other people's pages, people that I just happen to see or I can link to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're not just these giant statues of sculptured people. They're regular everyday people who just, they're putting their journeys out there and they use their platforms to inspire other people. So I feel like it's my responsibility, as somebody who has made sort of an influence on social media to kind of promote the people who are inspiring me every day. And these are everyday people. And it's been an amazing ride. I can't tell you how grateful and how humble I am to have met the people that I have met. And, my next venture now is, and again, like I said, you're part of it, is just the Badass Yogi movement. And we're going to go global on that. And we're going to do that. The plan for that is, sending out the t-shirts.
Right.
The plan for it eventually is to kind of make it some kind of a charitable thing for people, especially people of color or people who don't have enough money to be able to embark on a yoga journey. Yoga is, something that has been stereotyped as, the skinny blonde person that does it. But, yoga is prominent in every community, the Black community, the Latino community. And what I want to do by the Badass Yogi movement is I want to be able to make yoga affordable for people who really can't afford it. Yeah. So it's only phase one, but we're getting close to it. Phase one is building the team, and I've built the team. Nice. I'm building the team so far, and it's a team of some of my favorite people, some of my favorite yogis, and I'm looking forward to the next phases and obviously more to come on that.
That's so exciting. So how is it being able to be an entrepreneur and having all these different hats that you hold? How do you stay so organized and focused and so driven?
To tell you the truth, it's funny because these words I'm just a very humble person. These words that I hear, entrepreneur and influencer, like, I look at people like you and other podcasts or people that I've been on, that those are the influencers and the entrepreneurs. I'm just me. But to answer your question, as far as staying ahead with everything that I have going on, to tell you the truth, just making sure that time management. And I always do this. There's nothing that I can do, no matter what it may be, whether it be training for a competition, doing yoga, anything. The family comes first, and that right there is nothing that can ever be off schedule. And the way you can also maintain a good busy schedule is having people that support you, get rid of that negative energy. I have a very supportive family base, and when I say family, I don't just mean blood relatives. I mean like friends and just a whole group of people who have always managed to be there and just be so supportive. But I like wearing all the hats. I like doing different things. I'm actively involved with yoga, as you know, and I've worked with some people. I don't know if they're watching, but I've gotten to essential oils, and I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. And we just hosted a Facebook Live weekend where I have some friends who are hot and heavy into the essential oils, doTERRA, stuff like that. Just to tell you the truth, I really just like to plant my seed in things to help the people around me just kind of grow their businesses as well.
I love that. And I love that you're using your platform to help push others and then also share other inspiring people on your Instagram and social media platforms, because there are so many inspiring people out there. And it's so cool to see someone who is an influencer share that kind of stuff and get introduced to more people. It's like a domino effect, and just more people become inspired, and we're just taking over the world.
Yeah,
it's more positive.
Yeah, I want to kind of, get to a point where we can make social media fun again. There's just too much negativity on it. I feel like there's a lot of keyboard commandos, people who just want to use the platform to just drive negativity. And I just want to make it fun again. To me, social means together, And
Yeah.
obviously media means promotion. So together we should be promoting business, small businesses.
Yeah.
We should be promoting, influential Facebook pages, podcasts. We need to be better at looking at the big picture as what we can do with these platforms to make this place a better place. And there's just too many things going on where it's very easy to get on your keyboard and say something negative about someone. The hardest thing you could ever do in your life is to go behind your keyboard and say something positive. So for some reason, people find that so hard to do. And myself, along with you, I have a couple of other podcasts that I've been on,
Nice.
and they're all different facets of
Right.
of podcasts. And I'll talk about those in a sec. We just want to spread awareness and just spread honest, true information, because there's a lot of information out there that's not accurate.
Yeah.
And I feel like the best way to get information are from people who are actually living the game.
Yes. Yes, that's so true. Yeah. So you've been featured on a few different podcasts as well, also talking about fitness and your story and your journey.
Yes. I was actually on a podcast, a good friend of mine who lives overseas, tremendous yogi. She's written books on it. Her name is Rihanna Watson. She's Open Heart Unites Fitness. Open Heart Unites on Instagram. My best friend, his name's Hector Garcia. He just started a podcast not too long ago I was featured on called Just Another Podcast. I have a really good friend, a fellow badass yogi, Xandria. She does a podcast called Canna Chat, where it's kind of all things cannabis and kind of discusses the medicinal benefits of it. And there's just been a lot of things I had at one point. I had my own. It was called Food for Thought, but in all honesty, I kind of pulled back from it, and I decided to do more fitness and less politics.
Yeah.
Sometimes politics just gets to a point where your brain just starts getting fried, and you got to dummy down from it. But it's been fun. It's been fun being featured on all these. And the cool thing about it is that a lot of these things that I'm promoting, and a lot of these things I'm a part of, are small businesses. Like this shirt here was made by JMD Designs, one of my good friends out of New York, who designs a lot of my shirts. He's actually going to be designing the shirt that I wear for the competition. Promoted a lot of things out of New York.
Very cool.
Forefront Apparel, who's a friend of mine from the neighborhood. Just a lot of good things. I have C Vega Wear, another friend from the neighborhood.
Nice.
Minus another friend from the neighborhood. I love the small businesses. I love the up and coming people who are actually trying to start their businesses and get them off the ground. So I'm just really excited about being a part of other people's journeys and the things that I could do to kind of help progress those businesses.
I love that. I feel like we need so much more of that, is to really help support those small businesses and help push each other and to just make more positivity out there. And like you said, sharing the knowledge of all these different podcasts that are very inspiring and uplifting and wanting to make the world a better place. I do know Rihanna too. I ended up interviewing her months ago, last year.
Amazing. One of my good friends.
Love her.
Amazing person. She taught me a lot about just expression, being yourself and just being comfortable with who you are. And, I admire her a lot. She's an amazing person. And, I just recently connected with, in the yoga world, her name is Elena Brower, big in the yogi world, and just somebody who's now teaching me, kind of like the not just the art of it, but also like the business of it and how to promote yourself, and books to read and people to connect with. It's just been, again, I just met so many great people, and
I love it. Wow. What book would you recommend?
What book would I recommend?
Yeah, or that she recommended.
You know what? Forgive me. I'm going to have to pull it up because I don't know the name and I don't like to misquote. So give me 1 second. I will tell you.
I love it.
She recommended, and she may be watching now. If not, I know she'll catch it another time. The book that she recommended that I haven't started it, but I'm currently going to begin reading. I'm sorry, our text messages are just absolutely just insane.
I love it.
It is called The World of Your Business Playbook. It's a book about how to grow your business and how to create just a feeling of like welcome this to you and your customer, how to be yourself, but also grow a business. So I'm looking forward to that. So once I read it, I can give a good review, and I have not read it yet, but it's a book she recommended.
I love it. Good tip there. I'm going to check it out too.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of exciting things going on. One last thing, I also have a good friend who he has a Instagram page called Secure the Plate. He does a podcast with him and his son. It's all about cooking. Oh. Shout out to Ron Harvey. It's him and his son, and Marlo's his son. And my daughter and I were featured on that, and he taught us how to make homemade waffles for breakfast. So there's just there's so many just ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Yes.
And such positive things that it just becomes this whole big, you know, unified just family of social media, and it's just positivity.
Yeah.
And you know, it's good to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I love that, like you said, it's a whole social media family. This year with the whole pandemic, I've really tuned into a lot of social media, and I feel like I've connected with my tribe around the globe of all of these incredible, inspiring, you know, people that are just wanting to take things to the next level.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, you know, the one thing I will implore people to do, though, no matter what you do, no matter, you know, what platform you use, family first. You know, and this is the first I'm saying it here on your show. I'm actually getting ready to put the principles together for a book that I want to write called The 5 F's of my life. And the 5 F's are family, friends, faith, fun, and fitness. And it's going to be mostly like a self-help guide on how those 5 things, you know, really kind of make me who I am today. And without those 5 things, I don't think that, you know, I would be here today. So it's going to be about physical, but it's also going to be about my mental journey as well. So,
I love it. The 5 F's. And you guys heard it here first.
The 5 F's. And I'm getting it's a ways away, but it's in production.
Oh, that's so exciting.
People that are watching. So
yes.
I'm glad I got to be on your platform to really, and again, I'm humble. I'm going to tell you, I'm scrolling on your page and I'm seeing Kool and the Gang and In Vogue. I'm seeing, you know, Murder Made Me. I'm looking at, and that's my guy. Like, I love that show. I actually met Ron Demery, and it's a super great guy. I mean, I'm like, why me? And I'm very, very humbled that you reached out and had this conversation. It's very humbling, and I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yes. It has been incredible group of people on the show. I've been super blessed, and it's been so much fun talking to you too. So of course.
It's blessed. Absolutely. I'm very, very appreciative of you having me on your show.
Of course. Yeah. What is it that you want to be remembered for?
Wow. What I want to be remembered for? Well, you know, it's funny. I'll say this, and you being the business of broadcasting, you know that there's always going to be people who are going to absolutely just love you. Yeah. There are always going to be your naysayers. Yeah. I live my life like that. There are going to be people who absolutely love me and people who are going to be naysayers, and I've had them already. Yeah. The one thing I want to be remembered by, whether it be from the people who absolutely love me and the naysayers, they can say whatever they want, but I want to hear he was a good father. Oh. You know, I have 2 very beautiful daughters, and you know, it's my responsibility as the first man that they experience in their life to set an example. So I guess what I want to be remembered by is the way that I raised my 2 daughters, and I have plenty of amazing help. My wife is an amazing person. You know, she holds down the fort. She holds it down. But if I had to answer your question, I just don't, like I said, whether you're a fan of Owen or not, I don't ever want anyone to say that I wasn't a good father, because that's why I'm here now. That is what my wife and I have based the foundation of our lives are, to set an example, to set a pathway for our children to be successful.
Oh, I love that so much. And you are such a huge inspiration, not just to your daughter, but to everyone. You are just sharing so much light, so much positivity, and really just being an open person, being vulnerable and sharing your journey, letting other people know they don't have to be alone. And yoga and fitness and mental health is really important.
It's very important. And again, if anybody wants to get some free at-home workouts, go on my fitness page. It's Owen Headley Fitness. Reach out to me. I'm very personable. If you want some personal training, everything's always negotiable, whether it's $5 or $50, whatever you could afford, and we'll get the ball rolling. But I'm looking forward to what lies ahead, and I'm very glad that you and I got to connect, and you're part of the Badass Tribe now. So there's no turning back now.
Yes.
You're not for life. So
yes, full force. We're going. It has been such a pleasure and such an honor to have you. Thank you for illuminating the world with your presence, and we will definitely be in touch.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much. Lots of love and light.
You as well. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Get Cat Fit. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching Live with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Thank you guys. Take care.